Dear students, the moment we talk about chemistry, what comes into our mind is chemical formula and chemical reactions. And it's very difficult to understand a chemical reaction or formula until we know how the formula has been written or how formulas are formed. So let us understand how to write a chemical formula. Let us understand how to write a chemical formula. Now, let me tell you that before I take up this topic, you should know the chemical formula, symbols and atomic numbers of elements at least up to element 20, that is calcium. So I start this topic thinking that you all remember the atomic numbers of elements up to calcium.
Example, we want to write the chemical formula of magnesium chloride. We need to know the symbols of magnesium and chlorine. So first we write the symbols. Magnesium is Mg, M capital and G small, and chlorine is Cl, C capital, L small. Now once we have written the symbols, we need to write their valencies under each symbol. Now, the valency of magnesium is 2. So, we write 2 under magnesium, and that of chlorine is 1. Now, the next step is we exchange their valencies. So, what we do, we write both the symbols and we cross their valencies. That is, with magnesium, we will write the valency of 1, that is of chlorine. So, Mg1, and with chlorine, we will write 2, that is Cl2. Since 1 is understood, so we can waive it. We do not write it and we simply write MgCl2. Hence, the formula for magnesium chloride is
Now, let us take the example of potassium oxide. So, what is the first step? We will write the symbols of potassium and oxygen. The symbol of potassium, as you can recall, is K, and that of oxygen is O. Now what we write? We'll write the valency of K and the valency of O. The valency of K is 1 and that of oxygen is 2. Step 3. We cross their valencies and write the formula using crossed valencies. So we write K2O1. Since 1 is understood, it is finally written as K2O. So, the symbol or the formula for potassium oxide is K2O. Now, let us take another example, sodium carbonate. Now, here one thing you have to remember, sodium is a monoatomic ion, while carbonate is a polyatomic ion, or we can say diatomic ion, because 2 elements are there in carbonate. So same, the steps are same, only you have to remember the formula of carbonate or whatever are the commonly used polyatomic ions in your syllabus that you have to learn. So sodium, let us write the symbol of sodium, that is Na, and followed by carbonate, the symbol for carbonate is CO3. Now this whole is one ion and this is the second ion. Means exchange of valencies will be between this complete identity and this identity. You cannot separate carbon and oxygen from here. Now let us write their valencies. The valency of sodium is 1 and that of carbonate is 2. Now we exchange their valencies, and so the final formula is Na2 and CO3. As 1 is understood, we don't write 1 anymore. So the formula of sodium carbonate is Na2CO3. Let us see one more example. Let us see the formula of calcium hydroxide. So let's start with writing the symbol of calcium, Ca, and hydroxide, which is again a polyatomic ion, that is OH. For calcium, the valency is 2, and for hydroxide, the valency is 1. Now we cross the valencies, and with calcium we need to write 1, which is understood, and with hydroxide, as I told you, remember this total is to be taken, not just O or H. So 2 should be with both of these, and this will happen only when we put a bracket. This is a common mistake which students do. They write it without a bracket, which will mean that this 2 is only with hydrogen. So whenever there is polyatomic ion, if you have to write a common subscript with any of this polyatomic ion, then the whole formula of the ion has to be written inside the bracket, so that the number indicates the valency of all the elements present in that polyatomic ion. So the formula for calcium hydroxide is CaOH whole twice. Now let us take one more example so that the concept is more clear. Aluminium sulfate, where aluminium is a monoatomic ion and sulfate is a polyatomic ion. Let us start with writing the formula. Aluminium is Al and sulfate, as you all know, is SO4. The valency of aluminium is 3 and the valency of sulfate is 2. Now we cross the valencies and we write the final formula with the crossed valency. So with aluminium we'll have to write 2, and with sulfate we will have to write 3. So the sulfate is SO4 and this 3 will be with S as well as O4. So we'll have to put a bracket here, and this is the final formula for aluminium sulfate. So students, I hope this will help you understand the concept and you practice using the way I have tried to explain. And before that, again I suggest you must learn the symbols and valencies of different elements, that is from element number 1 hydrogen to 20th element calcium, and also polyatomic ions that are common up to 9th standard. Thank you.